This is going to be decisive. Above and below at the same time.
All right, can you hear me now? Can anyone hear me?
Is this going to be enough to come out on top?
There we go. So, all right, now we're in business. So this whole time, Don Eagle, you were absolutely right. I forgot to hit one of the power buttons on this headphone, on these headphones. A little more high speed than I was used to. These new headphones sent over to me a long time ago by by owner of the Power Hour, Bill Cower, who sent them to me as a gift. Yeah, they get a little complicated sometimes. So I've been calling this whole game, and nobody's been hearing anything. So let's retrace. All right, what you've been watching right now is a extremely significant battle going on in the Dungeon West between two of the teams, between the number 1 team and the number 3 team, as they stood at the end of Week 5. Now here in Week 6, with the Cold Hard Truth at a record of 3-1-1 and the Nevermoor Ravens at 2-3-0. And that's 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie for the Cold Hard Truth, 2 wins, 3 losses, and no ties for the Nevermoor Ravens. And in between them sits the New Orkland Grunts. Now we have another successful stab. Coltov's Latland is down and KO'd. So if the Nevermoor Ravens can take this game with a win, they will propel themselves up to a 9 points, putting the pressure on the New Orkland Grunts to win this game tonight and put themselves, either keep themselves in second place, or if they tie it, they would be tying it, and then it would be interesting because even their net points could potentially be tied at that point. So, very important game. The pressure is definitely on Sturmjarl, and it's largely on the Cold Hard Truth as well, because if they lose this game, it would also give the New Orkland Grunts the opportunity to jump up and take first from them. So, if you're the Grunts, you're basically sitting in the middle of an aggressive sandwich that you probably got to win your way out of. Try to break through. Will the cream rise to the top? Let's see what happens in the Dungeon West. Poor Preach. He was happy to get rid of the Scuttlebutts from last season after they left the Dungeon West. Unfortunately, though, over from the Iron League came the current reigning champion of the MML, the Cold Hard Truth. And the Cold Hard Truth has firmly established their place in the standings here in the Dungeon West. And that's basically them telling the New Yorkland Grunts, you know what? This is our conference now. And we'll see how the Grunts respond to that. But at 2-1-2, the response has been, it's been okay. But they're going to need to step it up if they want to win this conference. And we have an ambitious move here by Edwina. Oh! Who manages to escape, Edwina Bleed manages to escape the diving tackle of Book Roxtech, who falls to the ground grasping at air. And that's where that extra training really kicked into place. You get the feeling that had Edwina not put in those extra reps of practice this week, she would not have made that dodge. Josel Flacco has been sitting back there in the pocket, just chilling. Cool, confident. He has not been worried so far. He's got ice in his veins. And the Lion's done a pretty good job of protecting him so far. And there has been one of the Dark Elves most shining in this game so far for the Ravens. Ramona Rice getting out there and getting brutal and laying the smack down. And Ramona Rice is no stranger to violence. Unfortunately for her, she's also been on the receiving end for it a lot. As after week 5, she is basically, after week 5, going into this game, she was one of the top 4 people knocked out the most in the league. Ramona Rice has, I guess, that kind of punchable face that you just like to hit. She's like the MML's Tina Turner. It's probably politically incorrect to say, but I'm just going to bank that not that many people are going to be watching this broadcast, so I won't get in that much trouble for it. More shots. Coach More Shots has actually been linked in the tabloids to having been seen out in public with Ramona Rice. But we know that's incorrect because Coach More Shots is never seen in public with Witch Elves. They just come directly to his apartment. The Lizards tentatively poising to take their shot, and they're only going to manage to push Lanhor back. It's Gortlax jumping in there and running past his buddy, the Kroxagor, who's Krolotha, who is just laying on the ground on his back. And we'll see if he gets up and makes use of his abilities. This is going to be interesting, because if they don't put a body on Josel Flacco, he's going to be off to the races. And they did put a body on him, and that's a big body. That croc has a prehensile tail, which is going to make Josel Flacco's life more difficult in dodging away from him. As we know, Flacco is not skilled in the art of dodging. However, Lanhor, who's standing right next to him, is. Unfortunately for Lanhor and the Nevermoor Ravens, that prehensile tail coming from Kolotha can also slow him down as well. And as Don pointed out, the agility 5, though, which Flacco has, more than makes up for any dodge skills that he doesn't have, and also neutralizes the effect of that tail. He's basically playing hopscotch, or whatever that is. He's playing jumping rope, basically, with an easy, slow rope is what he's doing. That's what that's doing. There's another nasty hit on the Elves. Elves being very resilient right now. I mean, you got 2 knocked out lizard men, and there are no Elves in the injury box or laying on the sidelines. All the Elves are up and attentive. And another little too much drinking last night and celebrating and took this game for granted. And they really shouldn't, because this could knock them off their perch. As more shots pointed out, yep, it seems like more teams are investing in dive tackle. Probably after being burned by a few dodges. I mean, there are a lot of stunty and dodgy players throughout this league, and at this point in the season, you kind of have to have somebody that can stop that. Yep, 2 Saurus is out for the Cold Hard Truth as well as the Skink. Got 2 reserve Skinks, but those 2 Sauruses being out, if they don't come back after the score, if there is a score, or if they don't come back after the half, it's going to pose some problems. And wow, this just in from our Around the League correspondent, More Shots, who is often in the booth here with me, but right now, More Shots reporting that the Thugs have picked up a Chaos Warrior with dive tackle. Ooh. And I didn't realize that, as Don Eagle pointed out in the chat, dive tackle only works on 1 dodge. So if you fail that one and you get a dodge reroll because you have the dodge skill, then the modifier will be without it. So that's got to be frustrating if you take a tumble to the dirt. Diving after. Oh, and another successful stab by Soul Runner. Gortlax is stunned. I think he's already stabbed him once before. And you know the old saying, stab me once, shame on you. Stab me twice. I'm just not going to get stabbed anymore. Goes something like that. And Landhor about to take his frustrations out on Buck Rockstek, who takes a tumble, but he will be back up next turn. And now you have Krolotha surrounded, alone and unafraid, by 3 elves who are looking at him like he's Christmas dinner. If elves believed in Christmas. But of course they believe in Christmas, because who the hell do you think helps Santa pack the presents? And they're going to get some extra help, and it looks like Edwina Blood comes over to help, and Ramona Rice is going to go to work on the Crocs. Booyakasha! Krolotha is out. Now we've got 4 KOs on the Lizard Man side, and this is getting embarrassing. Joseph Flacco doesn't even move. He's just standing around looking at these Lizard Men, and he's not even moving. He's not upset. He's a calm, cool, collected character, and that's probably because he's respecting the speed of these Skinks. But he could have moved right outside that end zone, as we can see, and he would have been only touchable after a couple of go-for-its by one of the Skinks. So it does make you think, was it a smart move for him to take off? So Don Eagle says my mic's making a lot of noise on the high tones and maybe set too high on the volume. Is that better, what I just did? Stream drop. No, stream dropped? Are we back now or what? Let me know, guys. Let me know if the stream is down. Lizards making their run, trying to make contact with Flacco. Okay, good. More Shot says I'm still live. I'm still good. And here comes Wahex, trying to get some licks in on these elves. About now, the Lizards got to be thinking, man, is this less about preventing the touchdown and more about just trying to even up these number odds? This is this is embarrassing right now. It's bad when these elves are dancing circles around you, and then next thing you know, you're on the ground saying, what happened? You got a Crocs down, you got 2 Saurai down, and you got a Skink down. Will we be seeing the Cold Hard Truth come in full of Skinks for the next time around? And it looks like Nevermoor is not going to take the Just Score magazine subscription here, and they're going to sit outside that end zone and think about it. It's not a bad place to be. You would have to have some real maneuvering and luck by the Skinks to even be able to make contact with him. And those chances got a little slimmer that time. Wow, failure to stab by Soul Runner on a low armor value target. That could have been even more disastrous at this point. And I am not aware of what the inducements were, so we don't know whether either side has a Bloodweiser babe. I don't know what their TV is like. I don't know, sorry. So, Nevermoor coming out here and fighting hard. I mean, they're throwing blows. It's not something that you expected. Normally, you would have expected more dodgy get away from the lizards. The lizards are coming. But these Ravens, this looks like a different Raven team than what we've seen for most of this season. There's Edwina Bleed, and it looks like they're going skink hunting. If at first she don't succeed, try again, and all she manages to do is push the skink back. But, you know, again, she's just ensuring that they can't get two skink bodies on the ball carrier. And again, I mean, there'd have to be some real crazy stunty action to get two on them right now at this point. And the Ravens are not even going to take the chance. They're going to send Ramona Rice out there. As well as Elliot Box. And Lanhor. So now, the danger here is with the Ravens having pulled 3 people to surround a guy who's pretty much not reachable by all accounts, have evened up the odds on the field for fighting purposes. So, this next round could get really, really dangerous if those Sorai start swinging. And I believe they will. I think the Ravens are banking on the Sorai chasing after the ball and trying to somehow snake away that touchdown, stop that touchdown. But yeah, Stu says never underestimate the elves' bushiness. But also never underestimate the power, bashiness. Never underestimate the power of the Sorai to hurt somebody. And it looks like Seston is not going to try to use his blitz at all and try to get near that ball. He's just going to say, hey, you're going to delay on the touchdown, he's going to kill your elves. And Z of the River lays a mighty blow on Elthel, but is unable to do permanent damage. And this has been the story all match. These elves have continued to get up. They're like the Rocky version of the MML. Very resilient. 12th of Chwaka hits one of them. And now Gort Lax is going to try to get rid of Geslin and impede him, or will he go after Soul Runner, the assassin, who has been doing a lot of damage so far? And they go for the skink again. They can, or the skink goes for rather the runner. And the elves continue to be resilient. The assassin is unable to follow the skink. However, that means that Soul Runner's next stab is probably going to be right on our buddy Gortlax. And will we see Gortlax this time join his comrades over on the sideline? And it looks like they're going to foul. I don't know if it's smart right now to waste fouls when you've got 4 guys sitting on the sideline. I know you're banking on the babes, but again, you got to try something, right? Oh, Seston trying to move directing his skinks to try to go too far toward the ball. takes a slip. And Bakshrak Tech falls on the ground. He is unhurt. And now there comes the stab, and Huakex is injured. Soul Runner, somebody on the Lizard side needs to do something about Soul Runner because he is single-handedly decimating the Cold Hard Truth. He is a problem, and it looks like they have no clue how to stop him. Now the beauty of the Lizard teams, they do have a lot of skinks. If they have to go back on offense quickly, they are a threat to score even with only 2 turns left. Will they force the score here? Or will the Elves force them to take the ball with basically no time? Elves throw a blitz at the skink. And they're going to take another block at 12th of Chakwa. Push him back. The question's going to be, is Edwina Bleed going to throw a block? Are they going to milk this for another turn? Or is... I've been saying, was Joey Flacco just going to jump in that end zone? Geston puts a block on Gortlax. No real effect. And it'll be interesting to see what the Elves do here. Will they give the Sorai another chance to take shots and potentially injure the Lizards? Edwina Bleed trying to get over there by the skink. She tries to go for an extra step and slips and falls, and now the Elves gotta ponder how important is it for her to make it there. I guess it's important enough for them to have spent their efforts to do that. They tighten the protection around the ball carrier in case that lone skink manages to get over there. Theoretically, Gortlax could make it over there if he got some kind of crazy luck, but there you go, and they break contact. Rienbroer breaks contact with Uda Bahwalaksa. And the Elves will hold on for another turn. They did not want to give the ball back to the Truth with 2 turns to go. How long will they keep this up? Unfortunately, all of these turns have been getting burned because the Sorai are not actively trying to stop that ball carrier, or at least not throwing all of their efforts into it, opting instead to try to hurt the Elves, but they've been unable to do so. And that has to be frustrating. Here comes Lee of the River, and this is where they're making their move toward the ball. They've had enough, and this is another hard choice. It looks like Tualt of Chakwa is not going to be able to finish this block. Man, these Elves are putting up a hell of a fight. Gortlax puts a hit on Soul Runner. God, this has got to be frustrating for Coach Seston. His Lizards are just, it's like they're hitting them with pillows. Everybody's having a pillow fight over here in this Western matchup. And Coach Seston decides he's not going to play around with the Skinks anymore. Garson Quata takes a step back. Out of the range of Elfel. Another stab by Soul Crusher, or Soul Runner rather, is unsuccessful, but this time his buddy Fimbien hits Lee of the River, and Lee of the River is going to take a tumble. But he'll be back up next round. Yeah, not real injuries done, other than that one. But I don't even know. I don't think that was permanent either. OX down on the lizard side. That's a lot of knocked out lizard men, though. And the elves are looking like they haven't even stepped into the ring yet. But the lizards look beat up. At this point, you gotta be like, you know, somebody gotta tell them, hey, look, just give them your lunch money. Maybe they'll stop beating you up. Gestin steps up to Uda Pahualexa, and the Saurus is going to take a fall back. Spinning back roundhouse kick sends the lizard man to the ground, but it is not going to cause any permanent damage. And more shots, our correspondent around the league right now is telling us that there is a new troll coming to the farm, and Pillow Biter is his name. He'll be joining one of the farm favorites, Netflix and Kill. In the opinion of some of our viewers, the elves should engage in fouling at this point because they have the numbers, so they can afford to lose one. What would suck for them, though, is if they, well, they got two in reserve, so yeah, they could afford to do that. Even if they get one, lose one getting called out. And here comes Ramona Rice. Spinning back roundhouse rather. And it looks, it's all the people with low armor value here that have been pretty damn resilient. Well, most of them. A couple of the skinks are finally out. But that kick looked like it might finish him. That was like a finish him kick. Ramona Rice wins. And will he take it in this turn? Yes! Finally, the Ravens decide to put it in. Joseph Flacco puts it in the end zone. And the Ravens take the lead. A tie here will not be enough for the Ravens to take that second place spot this week, but it does leave them room for them to overtake the Grunts next week. Now, I'm sure they're not thinking tie, they're thinking win, but even a tie would still leave them in a position to make a playoff run. And it looks like the Lizard Men are going to have 2 turns to get this ball in the end zone. So interestingly enough, if you look at how this game has gone so far, it has been a surprise. The Nevermoor Ravens coming out swinging and connecting and flooring these lizards and just dominating in the first half in a way that nobody expected. Now, 3 of the 4 that were knocked out did get up, but they still got a knocked out Saurus and a skink down and out for the cold hard truth. But I bet you they're glad to have those other two Sorai back in the fold. So the Nevermoor Ravens actually this season have they're just, by the way, coming off of a victory, 2-0 victory last week over the Bloodshot Warriors. Unfortunately, they lost their level 4 blitzer Talger, so they're playing this game without their probably best player. You know, unless you think Joseph Flacco is the best player, but definitely at least one of their two best players is gone for this game. And over the season, you just haven't seen the Ravens dish it out like this. I mean, they've only inflicted 28 injuries, but have sustained 58 injured players so far this season, and a death. So they got they've inflicted 7 KOs as well, and sustained double that, 15. So you just did not expect them to come here and put it down on these lizards like that. No, and on the opposite end, the Truth has inflicted 47 injuries and sustained only 38. By the way, the Truth has just built a royal box in their stadium, the Terrorium. So, unfortunately for them, they won't get to enjoy it this week. We're here at the Nevermoor Coliseum. And both of these teams are largely celebrated, very popular with the fans. The Nevermoor Ravens boast a core fan base of about 70,000. You got 70,000 here already with the season ticket holders, and you know the stadium could hold more. So on any given day, there's more than that. And the Truth themselves boast about 80,000 core fans. So, and they travel with them everywhere. So you got 80,000 Truth fans here in the stands doing their thing and cheering on their the visiting team. So that would be interesting if there are actually more fans here for the visiting team than there are for the home team. The ball's kicked off. It's a high kick. It's going to allow one of the skinks to get underneath it. And that skink that does catches it, it's lazy Q. And they're off. Gortlang starts off with a hit, and it's that same kind of story. It's a hard push, but there's nothing permanent. And here comes a harder hit, and that one's going to put Fimbian out for the count, but will he stay out? Halftime's coming up. We may see him back sooner than the Lizards would like. There's another hit from Zia the River. And Slugs is down and KO'd, and now it's starting to look like what we thought we would see. This week, TMNL playing a history of violence. I'm not sure off the top of my head who is home. Sorry. So we've had 2 KOs already in just this turn. And now it looks like the Lizards are over here trying to make up for lost time. But unfortunately, these elves' dodgy dodge skills are causing real problems. It is actually the same stadium. Yes, TMNL and the History of Violence are, they share Jurassic Park. It is on the Isla Nublar. And they will be playing there. So whoever is home this week is the, you know, it's just in principle thing only, because both the fans from both sides will be there. And Soul Runner KO'd. That is very, very helpful for the Lizard Men, as he has been devastating their ranks. Fortunately for them, most of his work has been undone. The Sorai are all back up except for one over there taking a nap. That's Axel of the Sun. Looks like he's going to take a break until halftime. However, doesn't look like the Lizards are hurting that badly for him. We shall see, though. The ball is moved up and handed off to Books Roxic, who does not look like he was within range of the elves, but now he is, and they're unable to establish a full cage. It's kind of a half cage, but will it be enough? Looks like it will be enough to get the elves from getting to the ball carrier on this turn. Maybe not. No, the elves can easily get to this ball carrier and get a double dive block on him. Seston may have felt, well, he did. He felt pressured that he didn't have enough time to get that ball up. However, as we know with Skinks, you cover pretty much the length of the field in one turn. So I don't know that they needed to put the ball all the way up there. Unfortunately, though, yeah, Skinks don't pass very well, as a general rule. And it does not look like Coach Seston has a skink who passes. Yep, there are no agility for skinks. And nobody actually has any pass skills. So this is the problem. This is the disadvantage when you're unable to pass. You gotta expose that ball. And exposed it is right now. You can best believe you're gonna see a blitz on that ball carrier. And the Elves finally decide to go for it. They're now leaving themselves a lot of time in case they do dislodge the ball. Too much thinking about it, and they should have just acted. But this will do. Are going to dislodge the ball. Books Rock's Tech is KO'd. And it's probably a good thing that Gortlax doesn't pick it up. Maybe not. Dodge out by one of the elves. And they're going to put bodies on those skinks and hope that the skinks cannot recover the ball, get it to a ball carrier, and pass off. It'll be interesting to see how the Cold Hard Truth handles the situation. So first, they clear one side from Garcon. They clear a tackle zone from him. And now it looks like Garcon is free. Garcon free to pick up the ball at this point. Now, who is he going to get it to? He's got two options, but they're both surrounded. So how does he get out of this predicament? Okay, and one elf knocked out of the way. That solves one of the issues. Kroloth clearing the way more. It looks like there is going to have to be a pickup and a risky handoff here in order to make this happen. The blitz is used up, and this is where great moments happen in the MML. The pass off. Oh, the passes! The handoff is made to Quantum Zatlan, even though he's covered, and he gets away. He's going to break away for a last second. This time we're going into the second half. Tied 1-1. The Ravens versus the Truth. We have a tie game. Oh, that's got to be be disheartening for the Ravens. You play your heart out the entire first half. You play like you probably never have before. You came out, you laid some knockout, devastating blows on the Lizards. They all get back up right after you score. Run downfield, take the ball, and just put it in your mouth. That's got to feel awful. But the Ravens have played well so far, and if you're Sturmdraw on the sideline, you got to be telling your players, you did it the first half, go out there and muscle up and kick their ass again in the second.
Dogs are doing their job. This is indeed a vital kick. This team scores in deadlock.
It's time for one of the squads to step up and be a winner.
Now, good for the good thing for the Ravens is that Soul Runner is back. The assassin doing a lot of damage last half, and it'll be interesting to see what adjustments Seston is going to make to ensure that Soul Runner does not do to them what he did to them last half. Unfortunately for the Lizards, however, Axel of the Sun still napping in that sunshine. You know, when a lizard finds a nice little sunspot, he just wants to stay there. And looks like he's over there dreaming. You see he's snoring. There's a little drool coming out the side of his mouth. Wonder what he's thinking about. Anybody in the chat room want to give submissions? What do you think that Axel of the Sun is dreaming about over there? It's very peaceful. In the meantime, the Elves trying not to get killed on the opening turn of the second half, so that then they can get into playing defense after that. Coach Stormjaw really thinking this through, taking his time. Wants to make sure he doesn't get every piece accounted for and he's got everything in the perfect place. Will the Lizards come and mess up his best laid plans? You got Ramona Rice on the left, Edwina Bleed on the right. Ramona has been doing some real work this game. We'll see if she keeps it up. Truth is going to assume their aggressive posture. Have Sorai set up so that they make sure to punish these elves.
Did you know that some cheerleaders get paid more than the
Looks like Sturmdraw forgot to, oh no, okay, I was gonna say he forgot to move his kicker back, but it looks like he's got two kickers. Truth's brilliant coaching kicks in, and you can really see the players letting their training kick in this half. And right off the bat, there's a blitz. Z of the River lays it down, almost screws up, but the extra training kicks in to keep him from stumbling too bad. But again, not the result they want. And he's going to follow up, exposing himself to a possible counter-strike next turn. Gorlax sending back Lanhor. Zox with a block. Again, Lizards, we're back to them doing no damage, and these elves getting away with it. Murder. This has got to be frustrating. I mean, at least they're pushing them back in the direction they want them to go. They do have that going for them. Looks like Carlota's gonna, or Pahualax is gonna put a body on the very dangerous Alfel because he's got block, he's got guard. And 2-alt moves up into position. It looks like the Sauruses are just voluntarily marking those elves. Something that normally other opponents might try to do is keep a body on the Sauruses so they can't move. But it looks like those Sauri want to break some elves. There you go. The Truth takes an aggressive posture, but nothing major happens that turn. How will the elves respond? Ravens taking their time to make sure their response is measured. And Michael Orr jumps in to gang up on Slee of the River, and they decided they don't want that Mighty Blowsaurus around anymore. Raymona Rice giving him the business. But he's just going to lay there. He'll be back up next turn. What happens next? Ooh. And Joseph Flacco goes skink hunting unsuccessfully. And did he just expose his most important player to a counter-strike? Oh, Soul Runner moving into position. He's got a body on 2 Sauri. So whoever's left standing after this round, after this turn, either better hit him or get the hell out of Dodge, because that could get brutal again. Looks like that's Edwina Bleed moving into position, getting around the Saurus, 12th of Chakwata. And they're going to take a single die block. Oh, double skulls come up, and Gestar takes a seat, but he's going to be okay. And now will be interesting to see what the Lizards do. Tie score. Will they stave off the would-be upstart team who is trying to dig themselves out of third place and into at least second? Twalt lays a blow on Soul Runner, and the assassin is going to get up. So they are definitely taking care of business. They're being more careful about that assassin who has proved to be deadly in the first half and has been unsuccessful this half. Zax hits Riembrior, pushes him back. There's not a lot of elves going down. These elves are very shifty today. The blitz has not been used, but it will be now. And Slee of the River lands a hit on Raymona Rice. little bit of a mighty blow, and you hear her grunt as she receives the mighty blow, but it does not put her out. And just as I suspected, the Skinks surround Joseph Flacco. If they can put him down, that would be game-changing for the truth. 2-die block, and he is going to take a seat. And he's knocked out! Joe Flacco is going to sit on the sidelines until there is a score or the game is over. And all of a sudden, what looked like a dominant game for the Nevermoor Ravens in the first half has turned into an imposing situation in favor of the Lizard Men. Kurlotha almost takes off Tyrell Slug's head with a nasty bite, and the Elves are back in position to do something now. Coach Seston just really being patient with his team, not rushing anything. Send one elf. He just sent a message. You send one elf back in my territory by himself, we're going to overtake him and knock him the hell out. Leaves the Elves in a position where they need to either deplete or go around some of these Sorai. But they need to do something fast. Ramona Rice moving into position. Here comes Zox. Lays out Zox rather. It's Keston laying out Zox. Knocks him to the ground. And what will the Elves do from here? Looks like they're going to go skink hunting. And once again, they are unable to put down the skink. Tale of two halves here. The first half, all Nevermoor Ravens until the very end, when all of a sudden the Truth got back into the action, quickly scored an unlikely touchdown, and that seems to have galvanized them to come back in the second half here and start to beat the Elves up. And now it looks like the Ravens are going to ignore what happened last time to them when they sent somebody in the backfield alone, and they're daring the Skinks to come at them. Time running thin. Michael Orr tries to dodge clear, is unable to do it, and takes a tumble. We're heading into turn 11. 6 turns on each side. Who will put the ball in the end zone first? Who will take this match? Another elf goes down. And again, the tables have turned. It looks like the Lizards are dishing out more of the punishment. Now you have 3 elves knocked out. Only 1 lizard knocked out and 1 skink injured. But the difference is that that lizard got to be replaced after halftime, or even before then, with a skink, as well as the injured skink. So Lizards still have a full squad on the field. It looks like the Elves are down 3. And Again, you send a single elf in the backfield to threaten a hit on the ball carrier. They are eating you alive. And Weeda bleed down. She's going to nap for 2 turns. And it looks like the Cold Hard Truth is preparing to run a quick strike. Oh. And here comes a foul, it looks like. It looks like they're good. Yep, there it is. They are unable to lengthen her stay in the Grass Hotel with that foul. If you're in the chat room, am I still coming in loud and clear? Can you still hear me? All right, good. You can still hear me. Grass Hotel, place in Denver. Smoke everything you want and sleep all day. And we have Lazokra moving into position. Still not able to score the touchdown on the very next turn, but he's starting to creep up. And it's only turn 11. They have a lot of time still. Soul Runner taking a stab at the Crocs. It fails. And it looks like all he just did was make Krolotha angry. Now how will the Ravens respond? What will they do? It does not appear that the Truth can score on the next turn. But how do the Ravens want to set themselves up to prevent the score 2 turns from now? Oh, single die block on Zax, and he will take a seat right about now. Source down, source down. Do we see life out of the Ravens? Probably a good idea to keep him on the ground. It's Lee of the River with that mighty blow ability. Very, very dangerous character. Michael Orr moving into place, getting a body on Olakshi. Ooh, shifty. My guest star successfully dodges away from the Saurus, puts the hit on the skink, but does not land the kind of hit that he wanted. And that extra training is going to kick in, but even with the extra training, it's just not helpful. Not helpful enough. So Gezdar unable to put down Skink, and Sterndraw is going to maintain his position. That is a key block. Oh, and that's a key injury. Gezdar is injured. He's badly hurt. They are helping him off the field right now. And the numbers for the Elves just keep dwindling. Again, this is what most of us expected to see, but did not see in the first half. We were kind of thrown off by the first half and the way that first drive started. Yeah, two Sorai together over there now. And it looks like they're going to form a cage of sorts.
A good solid
Handoff made. Ezequiel cannot get into the end zone this turn. But with a go for it, can get in next turn. Something tells me though, Session is not rushing into that end zone. And Sesson decides he does not want to expose his skinks to possible hits, but what he will do is have them foul. Ouch. Edwina Bleed knocked out. And that sideline just keeps looking more and more full. This is a reverse of what the Lizard sideline looked like for most of the first half. Actually, it does look like Sesson is not having any trouble exposing his people. Now the Elves gotta figure out a way to dislodge this ball or keep it out of their end zone. Tyrell Slugs knocking Magsley of the River. Yeah, I agree. More shots. Our league correspondent there, more shots right now, has pointed out it does not look like Sesson's in a rush to score. I agree. I mean, he'd have to go for it right now to get out to make that end zone anyway. So I think he's just trying to do this as a power move. He's trying to set up the score as a power move. So let's see what the Elves are going to do about it. They're just going skink hunting. They want to eliminate the annoying skinks and then try to gang up on the Sorai. Unfortunately, every time that they hit a skink, that skink just gets right back up. And Ramona Rice will take a tumble. But her extra training kicks in, and no, she won't. The Elf strategy right now looks like it's to keep bodies on skinks. Curious that he didn't send the help to make that a 2-die block. Oh, he doesn't need it. He's got Dauntless skill. And Gaston is going to send Zach to the ground. Got a free elf right now. How will he use Rienburg? And Soul Runner still on the ground. It's curious to see what is going to happen with him. The Assassin has been largely ineffective this game. Not this game, I mean this half. The first half is extremely effective. Seems to be leveling out now. This game is just thick with tension. I mean, it's 1-1. Not a lot is happening, but the tension is mounting. There's a lot of music, like straight out of a Ennio Morricone movie. A lot of elves looking in the eyes of the lizardmen, stern looks, smug grins, under the breath yo mama jokes. That's what's going on here right now. The lizards are thinking, can I stall this out a little bit more so these feisty elves don't, first of all, start getting back up like they did. There's a stun. They do not want to give the elves 4 turns to score, because then we know that is very possible. But the longer you leave these elves out there, you allow them to be sneaky and come in and dislodge that ball. Interesting. Coach Seston putting the Ravens in a predicament. Their assassin could stab Skink the next round, but he may be losing a valuable tool in stopping the touchdown. And there he goes for the score. Coach Sesson's going to rely on his defense. And he also didn't want to risk getting his Skink stabbed. That could have very well happened. The cold hard truth up 2-1, and the pressure is on the Nevermoor Ravens to strike. Everybody's back up though now, including Joe Flacco. So with Flacco back in the game, this is anyone's match.
Important thing, gotta keep possession of the ball, not lose it. Strike back would be terrible.
Actually, there are 4 turns to go. Yeah, 4 turns to go for the Elves, and the Lizards are going to have 3. Yep, exactly. There are 11 on 11 on the field. This is what happened in the first half, now happens in the second. One team completely decimated with knockouts. Everybody gets up after the drive, and we have got, this is just like almost like a new game, except that the Ravens are actually coming down 1. Again, if they can tie this, they are still in the race for the playoffs. They need a tie, though. Meanwhile, a tie for the Truth would lead them with 11 points, and if New Orleans wins today, that could potentially jump New Orleans ahead of the Truth into first place.
I prefer the passing game to running down the field. The one tactic is for the intellectual elite. It's for simple.
I like running down the field. Never drive by.
something witty and selfish. Do something. Anything. Please, just be interesting.
Sturmdraw mapping out right now his path to the end zone. Thinking of every possible turn, every possible possibility. How will he adjust if there's a blitz? Who will carry the ball? Where will the handoff be made? Which way will the first block go? There's so many things that could go so many different ways, and it all starts in how you place people on the kickoff. And here it comes. And the kicking team, because they've been so well defensively coached, the truth gets to rearrange how they are placed, and that could be very helpful. Time winding down as the truth figures out how they can best adjust. Both of these coaches very deliberative, trying to figure out all of the contingencies on each square. Also, I'm suspecting that Coach Seston ran to use the bathroom or something. We got Bort in the chat room. Bort in the chat room. What's up, Bort? And okay, this is strange. Now it looks like there's been looks like it's frozen. Uh-oh. Ah, no wonder. There was no movement on Seston's side. We may have lost connection. And that would suck. I don't know what's going on here.
I may not be the sharpest spider, but I'm not that.
Okay, it looks like we're back in business. All right, so it looked like we lost connection, and that's why. Hopefully now, we'll get this going. Maybe I'll be able to go back when I upload this to YouTube and edit it, so I'm going to wait through all of that. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Oh, I just saw sent in the chat. Chase, if you're listening, next time you guys if you want to send me messages in the chat, I'm least likely to read them in the chat while I'm calling the game. You're better off putting them in the chat in this room. And Twitch. All right, let's see what the Ravens are going to do with this opportunity. There's Ramona Rice out the bat, laying the block on Uta Pahwalaksa, who is going to fall back onto his back after he's kicked, and he'll be back up next round. You'd leave the skill set in? Shots? Oh, leave all the 6 straight minutes of them staring at each other across the middle of the pitch. I think I fell asleep a couple times.
Right next to a teammate. Disadvantage offense. I would.
Got a red die block, and they're going to let it happen because they're out of rerolls. And time is starting to wear thin on the Ravens. And when you don't have rerolls, it's tough to plan exactly what's going to happen 3 moves ahead because you don't know what kind of toll the dice are going to take. Here comes Krolatha. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Leo the River. He's going to hit Elliot Vex. Elliot Vex is going to get floored, but he'll be back up. And the Sorai are determined to keep bodies on the Witch Elves. Yeah, elves have time. They got 3 turns. But if they don't get somebody into position on the next turn... Oh, and that ball is loose. I'll tell you what, the elves are not going to have a lot of time if they can't pick up that ball. And really, yeah, when you... yeah, it's not good. This is not good for the elves. This can go wrong really quickly. Luckily, we know Joey Flacco has extraordinary agility. More so than most. So picking up that ball, even when it's surrounded by 2 skinks, is still a possibility for him. Yeah. Exactly. It's not just the elves that have time to score. Ouch! Fimbian is going to get stunned. And right now, it looks like the Ravens are really going to depend on the leadership of Joe Flacco. He's got to pick up that ball. He's got to get people in position downfield. And they need this touchdown. But here comes a 3rd skink who picks the ball up. That's Koltov Zlatlan. And it looks like the Truth is thinking about moving him back, so they got a 3-man skink wall, and he becomes difficult to dislodge. Now, just as the skinks can touch you from various places, next turn, they just sealed off one of those, and they're going to foul him, and Bokstroktek is sent off. We will not see him again this match, and let's see what the Dark Elves got. That foul did not work out for them, so that leaves Elliot Vex able to get up and put bodies on the skinks. Yeah, Koltov Zlatlan is a level 4 skink. This guy is tried and true. He's skilled at various things like sprinting, catching. He's got sure feet. He can dodge as with most skinks or every skink, and he's also stunty. How will the elves handle this? As we get deep into the match here, what you don't want to do is become a victim of time. You wait too long. By the time you make a move, You become a victim of time. Smart. So he puts a body on one of the skinks. So they can't get help. And how are they going to do this? Okay. So they're setting it up for if and when Flacco gets the ball. The problem also is that even if he manages to get that ball back, oh, he's going to blitz from there. Oh, that's not what he wanted to happen. Unable to dislodge the ball, and now they're running thin on time. They are definitely running thin on time now. Putting a receiver downfield, which is smart. And they got 2 receivers downfield. Oh, she goes for the extra step. This is where they get greedy. They don't have re-rolls, and this is where it becomes about risk management. And the Ravens are in full desperation mode right now. I'm not sure if they didn't want to just stop her. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but Edwina Bleed covering the front end of Colt of Zlatland might have been advisable. Right now, he theoretically could jump into that end zone. And he is looking at 267% dodges, and he's gone. I believe those are 267% dodges. None of the surrounding elves have diving tackle skill. The question becomes, how froggy does Coach Seston want to get? Two blocks from the skink, and Elliott Vox is still standing. And by the way, in answer to your question there, or in answer to your comment there, more shots, as you said before, you don't often see a level 4 skink. They are useful. Obviously, they have a lot of great skills. The only problem is that the countervailing view is that people think that the TV that it gives up for you doesn't justify the existence. So some people will actually get rid of them when they get too high level to keep their TV down. Ethel is KO'd. Ethel KO'd. And there we have Z of the River hit the Assassin Soul Runner with a mighty blow. They both go down, though. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's hurt. Now, the Ravens are in a position to dislodge this ball. They have no rerolls, so they're going to get one shot at it. If they manage to dislodge it, Flacco is in the vicinity, can pick up the ball. Where is Flacco? There he is. He is in the vicinity, can pick up the ball, And if anybody's got the arm to get it downfield, it's going to be him. And if he could just get it as far as to Ramona Rice, she can go and hand it off to Lanhor. Or they could do it another way, where Flacco picks it up, or somebody else picks it up, gets it to Flacco, with a handoff, and he gets it down to her. But anyway, he makes the longer throw, rather, over to Lanhor. But either way, things are in place for this to happen. Unfortunately, we are under a minute left in turn 15. And I do have 2 turns, too. So they can dislodge this ball. They can pick it up. There you go. Key block. Reambrohr frees up the ball. Oh, what a nasty sidekick. And Koltov's Latland goes down. Unfortunately, Reambrohr left holding the ball. He does not have enough time to make a move for this turn. It's going to give the Sorai the chance to try to mark up those receivers that are downfield. And right now, you see the Ravens trying to clear up the field here. This time, Soul Runner trying to block instead of stab. And all he manages to do is displace this sidestep, and Skink still within the range of the ball carrier. Yeah, and Skinks do die a lot too. Shots, obviously, and that helps the attrition. That's why they don't get to level 4 often. But like I said, a lot of people just feel like at level 4 they just they cost too much to keep around on the lineup. They'll just fire them.
It's gonna be hard to make them lose the ball.
It looks like, man, the Ravens are just going to knuckle up next turn. They are just going to put as many bodies as they can around Joey Flacco. I mean, not Joey Flacco, around Reambrohr. And the Skink is stunned. Lazitka is going to sit there and hang out for the rest of the match. And this is smart, blocking the Sorai out so they can't get to both of the receivers. And man, they got bodies all around Reambrohr. All around him. How will this go down? Will we see an amazing 3/4 of the field turn to tie it up in turn 16? I'll be honest, there have been some dull moments here, especially when we had the network problem. But this right here, 1-2. The Ravens with the ball down at their own end. This is the last chance for the Cold Hard Truth to stop them. This is what Blood Bowl is about. This is what the MML is about. They put a body on Edwina Bleed. Ramona Rice. So there are a lot of chances for LPS, as Dalton MC just pointed out. Yes, especially when you have various, at least one receiver free downfield. If Lanhor catches the ball, it's a done deal. All right, you have a Skink break loose, and that's Garçon breaks loose, and Soul Runner fails in his ability to shadow him. Soul Runner has been countered this half. In the first half, he just devastated the Lizard Squad, and now they found the antidote. Soul Runner has been very ineffective this half. Yeah, exactly, Bort. Yeah, at level 6 if you got all that. Plus, yeah. That's going to be, okay, pushes him back. It looks like the Elves are going to get the chance to complete, not quite a Hail Mary pass, but a pretty damn thrilling one. And if anything, I almost feel like, I don't know if he had the movement there. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think Seston lost the opportunity to hit Joseph Flacco, but he put a body on him. So the handoff to Joey is going to be tough. But again, with the agility 5, one body on him, I mean, Seston probably should have left that skink there. The handoff to Joe Flacco. He's got 5 agility. He can make that handoff. He can dodge through. If he can push up to midfield, that is a doable throw. That 5 agility is a mean mamma jamma. But Sturmjaw only has 1 turn. There are no rerolls in play. And this is where I'm not sure that covering that side of the field is what you want to do. Personally, I think the handoff here goes to Flacco. He's your RG5 guy. And Flacco can storm up that right side of the field and make a tough pass. But we'll see. Sturmjaw may have other ideas. He does have, after all, he does have Edwina Bleed in contact, but she doesn't have block. She's in contact with Zia the River, so they could get people over there to do stuff and make it happen. But every time, yeah, you don't have a reroll, so everything you do is a possible end to your turn. Some people would say here that you want to take the path of least resistance and just go right for what you're trying to do. Stab attempt, that would have been crucial had Soul Runner made that, but unfortunately Soul Runner has just been completely ineffective. After the first half, he has lost his mojo. And here comes the blitz. Oh, it only results in a push. And that push puts them in the same predicament as they were in before. They still have to make the tough handoff. Again though, Agi 5 runner in Joe Flacco with only 1 tackle zone on him. Receiving that handoff is very, very possible, but they're going to make it even easier on themselves. Edwina Bleed coming in and laying the beat down on Zax. Are we going to see Rembriere hand this off to Joe Flacco and let Flacco make this pass? Yes, we are. Flacco easily receives the ball. That can take him to midfield. If he wants to cut through a tackle zone, even through the prehensile tail, he can do that too, but he won't. He's going to go to midfield. Will he go for it before he makes the throw, or will he just make the throw from midfield? We know he has the arm to do it. Are we seeing an epic tie here, keeping the Nevermoor Ravens? Oh, and no! Joe Flacco fumbles the pass. He fails to complete. The Ravens are going to lose the game. Unfortunately, that's probably going to do it for them this season. They're going to fall to 2-4 with 6 points. I don't see them catching the New Orleans Grunts. And it's the truth versus the truth stays in that first place slot. New Orleans is in second. It looks like I have lost contact with the coaches. Unfortunately, yeah. I've lost contact with the coaches for some reason, so it looks like we're not going to have post-game interviews. So thank you for tuning in. What an epic game. 15 armor breaks from the Truth against 9 from the Ravens, and I bet you most of those 9, like if not all of them, were in the first half. Joe Flacco, definitely the MVP for the Ravens. Unfortunately, he could not tie it up at the end. He definitely tried. Let's see, looking at the stats, nothing really super here. 114 yards rushing is a lot. The